My aunt thinks I am a baby-producing machine and asks me to give up my daughter like candy to my infertile cousin. I am currently 8 months pregnant with a baby girl and my aunt and cousin have been giving me trouble since I announced the news. My partner and I already adore our girl and have no plans to give her up, but my aunt wants me to give up my child to my cousin who has been suffering from infertility for the past 5 years. We have been quite close with our aunt-cousin throughout our lives and have been trying to support my cousin through her struggles with infertility. My aunt is also very religious, regularly attends church, and has a very rigid, closed-minded view of morality. She believes the child deserves a strong foundational religious upbringing with a strong loving father and attentive mother. Since my partner is not Christian and because we both have full-time jobs and careers, she believes that my child will grow up confused and misguided in our household due to our religious differences, lacking a proper sense of identity and adequate care. She says she fears that our child's well-being will not be put first in such an environment and that our kid could likely go down a dark, immoral path. According to her, my cousin, who works part-time from home, and her husband are way better able to provide my child with a loving home with good values and religion. My aunt and cousin are blocked on most forms of communication and I have moved to a new home where they do not know the address. My partner and I also got married in a private ceremony so that they wouldn't have control over my medical decisions. Out of the two, my aunt has been more aggressive towards me and even showed up at my old apartment one day to scream and argue with me about the situation in a fake nice tone. She tried to get me to come with her to a cafe near the church to speak with me about the baby. Even when I told her there was nothing to discuss and that I was keeping the baby, I talked to the apartment manager and had to hide until she left after half an hour. My aunt also has her church friends after me. They sometimes regularly send me hostile text messages and voicemails. My cousin has been on the quieter side towards me and has been struggling with depression and trauma from her latest pregnancy last year, ending in the stillbirth of her baby girl after preterm labor at 30 weeks. She has been regularly posting on social media and has joined motherhood-related groups. I've heard through gossip that she is trying to get a baby through those groups and has been banned from many of them. To her dismay, she had been harassing young moms and widows for their babies. My cousin is desperate for a baby to fix her family and is apparently waiting for me to give birth to my baby girl who she sees as her late baby. She and my aunt are sure that I will be overwhelmed with my decision and the responsibilities of motherhood and that I will give up my baby by letting my cousin and her husband adopt her. My aunt says that giving my baby to my cousin shouldn't be as hard as it could be because we are family and I could have a baby later on as I am still young and plan to attend grad school after working for a while. My cousin also wants to contact us as we had before my pregnancy. I will not be speaking to her again until after I give birth to see where she is then and to prevent further stress during my pregnancy. I have been very supportive of her through her infertility journey and generally liked her more than my aunt growing up, but her behavior and thinking have shocked me and are making me fear for my safety. I am planning a big wedding party for next year since my partner and I got married privately this year and I am not sure if my cousin aunt will be invited and able to come. I have a lot of family support from both sides right now apart from those close to the men on their side, but I'm not sure if that support will be as strong in a year and what my relationship with my aunt cousin will be then. We contacted the local church leader and talked to them about the situation with my aunt and cousin who were both active members. We spoke to him for a while. He initially dismissed my concerns as a personal conflict between family and tried to refer us over to counseling services. We explained to him that my cousin was dealing with trauma from her baby's death and that she was having false hopes about adopting my baby who would be raised in a good home. We also told him that my aunt is feeding into those hopes and has been harassing me on her behalf causing disturbance and a lot of stress. He told me he understood my side and knew what my cousin had been going through with her inability to have kids. He said he would contact my aunt and cousin to see what they had to say about the situation. I talked again with him today. He said my aunt and cousin would like to speak with me and were concerned that I had stopped communicating with them, especially since I moved away. I explained to him that their behavior regarding my baby influenced me to do those things and pressed him on what they said. He said that my cousin had talked with a church therapist and was looking into adoption to start a family because her IVF treatments were likely not going to produce a child with her condition. I emphasized to him that I was not giving up my baby and that my cousin had been thinking such. He said he understood that and started asking me for personal details on how I was doing. He was again trying to set up a meeting between us and my aunt cousin and referring us to services. I told him I was uncomfortable with that and he told me to call my cousin once. He said he would meet with my aunt on Sunday since I was too scared to do it alone. Our call ended after that.